Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I was supposed to make these predictions yesterday, but I forgot about it. But let's get right into it with Texas and Ohio State, game of the week. The biggest game I've been looking forward to since it was announced. It should be a super exciting game, rematch of a playoff game last year. But I think Ohio State is going to come out on top at home. It's going to be super close. They're going to come out with a win by probably 4 points. I think I'm going to predict the score. I'm going to say 34-30. Let's go with our next game. Syracuse at number 4 Tennessee. This game is at Tennessee. I think Joey Aguilar, the incoming transfer from Appalachian State, will lead Tennessee to victory. Next we have Mississippi State at Southern Miss. I think Mississippi State is going to come out on top of this game. I know Southern Miss has a new coach, new quarterback, a lot of new players. They could be a tough game at first, but Mississippi State will pull away and win by 2 or 3 possessions. Let's go to our next game, FAU at Maryland. I think Maryland is obviously going to win this game. I don't know how good FIU is this year. Probably not that great. But, yeah. So let's go to Ball State and Purdue. This game could be interesting. I know Purdue is not really that good. But I still think they will come out on top. Because Ball State isn't good either. So let's go to Northwestern against Tulane. This is another interesting matchup. I think the group of 5 school Tulane will come out on top. Let's go to Duquesne and Pitt, FCS matchup. Got a few of those coming up. So I'm going to go with Pitt, Navy, and I think I'm going to take Merrimack over Kent State. Kent State coming off an 0-12 season. Don't know how they built their roster, but don't think they'll be that good again. Then Navy with their returning quarterback, Blake Horvath, returning running back and fullback, will win by a lot. Next, let's go to Toledo and Kentucky. Toledo has pulled off some upsets these last couple of years. They beat Mississippi State last year, almost beat Illinois the year before. So I'm going to go with Toledo to come out on top because Kentucky has lost their 2 best receivers, Barry M. Brown and Dane Key. But they have incoming transfer, Dante Dowdell from Nebraska. But I still think Toledo will pull off this upset. Next, let's go to a few more FCS, FBS matchups. I'm going to go with Boston College over Fordham, West Virginia over Robert Morris, and I'm probably going to go UConn over Central Connecticut. I know there already has been an FCS versus FBS upset. I predicted Army to win that, but Tarleton State ended up winning. So watch out for some of these FCS teams against these smaller schools. But let's go to one of my favorite teams, Indiana against Old Dominion. I think Indiana is going to come out on top by more than 23.5. Next, let's go to Eastern Kentucky against Louisville. FBS matchup, and I think Louisville will come out on top. No question there. Next, let's go to Nevada at number 2, Penn State. Penn State is going to come out on top of this game. I know Brendan Lewis transferred to Memphis out of Nevada, so I don't know who's starting for them, but I'm going with Penn State. Next, let's go to Marshall and Georgia. I don't know, Marshall did pull off an upset against Notre Dame a few years ago, but I think Georgia is too good for them, and they will blow them out. Next, let's go to Alabama and Florida State. A very interesting matchup. Florida State coming off of a horrible 2-10 season has rebuilt their roster a little bit, but I still think Alabama will come out on top by only 1 possession. Next, let's go to a few more FCS, FBS matchups with South Dakota and Iowa State and Bucknell versus Air Force. I think Iowa State and Air Force will both come out on top, even though Iowa State is only favored by 2 possessions. South Dakota is a good FCS team, but Iowa State is going to win. Let's go to Temple versus UMass. This game is probably one of the more boring games. Probably not going to be on live TV. I think Temple will come out on top of this game since UMass has not been relevant these last couple of years with all losing seasons. Next, let's go to we got a bunch of FCS versus FBS matchups coming up. Or I think Northern Illinois, Oregon, Liberty, Arkansas, and Memphis. Oklahoma and Iowa will all come out on top. No questioning there. Chattanooga, Memphis could be close, but I don't know how good Memphis is going to be this year, but I feel like they might be decent. It's probably not going to be close. I take that back. But let's go to Coastal Carolina versus Virginia. I'm pretty sure Virginia's going to come out on top at home, even though quarterback Anthony Colandrea transferred out, went to UNLV. They're still going to come out on top with the roster they have. Let's go to Weber State, James Madison, Long Island, Florida, North Dakota, Kansas State. I think all these teams will come out on top. James Madison, Florida, and Kansas State. But I don't know. I know James Madison has Alonzo Barnett. And yep, they are favored. So let's go with James Madison. Next we have UTSA and Texas A&M. I'm going to go with Texas A&M on this one. They're favored by 23.5, and I think they'll come out on top. Next, let's go to some more FCS, FBS matchups. I think Vanderbilt's going to come out on top. This could be an interesting matchup. Austin Peay and Middle Tennessee State. This could be a very close game, but I think Middle Tennessee State is still going to come out on top. And our next one, North Alabama, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky looked really good last week. I think they're going to come out on top. And then these two, next 3 matchups, FCS schools could pull off an upset, but I'm going to go with all 3 FBS schools, Arkansas State, South Alabama, and Troy. Next, let's go with another awesome game this week, the Battle of Death Valley, LSU versus Clemson. I don't know, is there home field advantage for this one? I don't really know. Yep, it is at Clemson. So I'm going to go with Clemson, Cade Klubnik, and Clemson to come out on top by at least 2 possessions. Since LSU could be good this year, but I just think quarterback Garrett Nussmeier is not the greatest, in my opinion. He's just a little overrated. Next, let's go to my favorite team overall, Michigan, against New Mexico at home. I think Michigan's going to come out on top by at least 50. No bias, totally. Next, let's go to Arkansas, Pine Bluff versus Texas Tech. I'm sure Texas Tech, with the air raid offense, is going to come out on top and have a big day. Next, let's go to one of our newest FBS teams, Missouri State at USC. Hard first matchup for them, and USC is going to come out on top of this game by a lot. Next, let's go to Southeastern Louisiana against Louisiana Tech. I'm going with Louisiana Tech over FCS Southeastern Louisiana by at least 2 possessions. Next, let's go to UTEP and Utah State. Since Utah State is at home, I'm going to go with them. I don't really know much about these 2 teams, but we're just going to go with Utah State. Next, let's go to Georgia State and Ole Miss. I'm going Ole Miss all the way on this one by at least 3 or 4 possessions. Next, let's go to FCS Portland State versus BYU. BYU had a great season last year, and I think they'll have another great one this year. I'm going with BYU. Next, let's go to Rice versus Louisiana. Don't know much about these teams, but I know Louisiana's decent, so I think they'll come out on top. Next, let's go to Texas State and Eastern Michigan. Texas State is going to come out on top of this matchup. I liked their offense last year. Jordan McLeod. And the running back, Ismail, I think that was his name. They have some good receivers. But I don't know. I am going to look at Texas State's roster. I don't know who is starting for them. Okay, it looks like Jordan McLeod did graduate. So, okay. Looks like they don't have their starting running back anymore. So, let's go to Lamar versus... I'm still going to take Texas State. Let's go to a few more FCS, FBS matchups. Where I think North Texas... Surprisingly, I'm going to go Abilene Christian against Tulsa. They almost pulled it off against Texas Tech last year. So I think they could beat Tulsa. Then I'm going to go SMU. This could be interesting. Bryant and New Mexico State. But I'm still going to go with New Mexico State at home. And then Georgia State and Fresno State. Even though Georgia State is favored, I'm going to go with Fresno State. It didn't look good against Kansas, but I think they'll improve. Next, let's go to two more FBS, FCS matchups, where I think Arizona State and Washington State will both come out on top. Next, let's go to California and Oregon State. This is a very interesting matchup, where I think California will come out on top at Oregon State. Next, let's go to Hawaii against Arizona. This could be a super good matchup. I think Hawaii will come out on top, since they look super good against Stanford, and freshman quarterback Micah Alejado, and the receivers, they look super good. So I'm going to go with Hawaii, even though Arizona's favored. Let's go to Utah versus UCLA. This game could be interesting, and I think UCLA will come out on top, even though, Utah and UCLA both got new quarterback transfers. Devon Dampier for Utah and Nico, I don't even want to pronounce his last name, Nico from Tennessee, we'll just say that. But I think UCLA will come out on top. Next we have Colorado State and Washington, where I think Washington will come out on top. So I am going to look for those Sunday games now. Okay. So here we are with Virginia Tech and South Carolina. I think South Carolina and Laura Sellers and their senior running back, Rashul Faison, they got Nick Harbor, and Dylan Stewart on defense. All those good guys, and I think they'll come out on top by at least 2 possessions. Next, we have another interesting matchup, probably one of the best ones of the week. Notre Dame, number 6 Notre Dame at number 10 Miami. Even though Notre Dame is favored and made it to the national championship last year, I'm going to go with Carson Beck and Miami on this game. It's going to be a high-scoring matchup, though. In our final game, we're going to TCU and North Carolina. I'm going to go with North Carolina on this game. Bill Belichick's going to get a win in his coaching debut. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all later. Or tomorrow. Whenever.